I'm convinced only a psychopath like me would make these sweaters during the summer, and I also convinced myself that since I use triple crochet and it's see-through that I could wear this outside. I'm just a sweater girl, like I don't care what time of the year it is. I try to make crop tops, try to make anything, but whatever. Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I have made the highly requested striped sweater because I made my first crochet vlog for this summer one. It's the same sweater, but it's just like sunrise, sunsetty colors, and it's so nice. But you know, I'm in the month of August, so always thinking ahead, and eventually these colors will not be in style, and I keep seeing all autumn, winter on my For You page, so I was like, let me make a little autumn one, and it came out so cute. I actually steamed it so it ended up being stretched out even more. Let me cut my head off so that you can see the whole thing. See? And these sweaters are so cute. I actually adore using triple crochet because it's so flowy, it's so loosey. Let's learn how to make this sweater. Let's get into it. Hello, so to start off our materials, I have 5 different colors. I used a nice little fall palette, and I use worsted acrylic yarn by Big Twist. And for the size, I have weight 4 yarn. Some optional materials is stitch markers, measuring tape, yarning needle. The one I used was the yarning needle to sew it together. It's just easier, but to be neater for guidance, you can use those too. And I used a 6.5mm hook. And then also you need scissors. To start off, you want to chain 60, or how wide you want the sweater to be. I suggest chaining 60 because the numbers I use later also contribute to this. You can also look at my sweater, see if you like the size. It's oversized, so it should be a decent fit for most people. But if you need to be smaller or bigger, that also works with you, but you're going to have to adjust your numbers later. And this is just how wide the front and back panel are around you. So right now we're working on the starting chain for the front quote-unquote panel part, but we're connecting it all in one, hence the one panel tutorial. I added these little graphics to introduce each new part. So I chain 2, which doesn't count as a stitch, but it just helps me each row. And I do triple crochet, which is when you yarn over twice, and then you pull through the stitch, the chain, and then you pull through 2 each time, and you should repeat the pull through 2 3 times, hence the triple crochet. And you're going to repeat that for each chain down the row, so the total of 60 or whatever starting chain you did. Just do triple crochets all the way down. Keep in mind for the whole project, if you wanted to make alterations for it to look bigger or smaller, it might look smaller than it is at first, but if you plan to block it, which I highly suggest you do, it makes it so much. That's where the flowiness and oversizedness comes from. I'm adding this to the ends of words, like that changed anything. But when you block it, that's where it really gets a lot bigger. So it might look smaller than the finishing project might end up looking. So keep that in mind. I even make my sleeves shorter than they need to be because I know once I block them later, they're going to be super long and loose. So at the end of the row, you're going to cut the yarn and tie a knot just by pulling that cut yarn through the loop on your hook. To change color, I just grab the next color I need and make a slip knot. Then you just insert your hook into the last stitch that you just worked on into the next row. So I'm just inserting my hook, and then you pull the slip knot somewhat through, not all the way through, like so that the knot's still in the back, and you chain 2, the starting chain to start the row, and then you're going to do a triple crochet in each one of those stitches. To make this project a lot more easier, I suggest that you crochet over your ends and just keep pulling them tighter and keep crocheting over them, and then you pull it loose so that the ends are hitting at the end. So you see, I just keep pulling my ends tighter and tighter, and then at the end I'll just pull the end back so that it's unscrunched and the ends are hidden. We're going to keep switching colors for each row, and repeating this for a total of 22 stripes rows of triple crochet. But once again, if you want it to be shorter or longer, then you can add more rows, but this doesn't include the neckline that we're going to add. The neckline is an additional 5 rows on the front and back, so like 10 total, but 5 front, 5 back. So that does add some length, and once again, once we block, it'll be even longer. But depending if you want it cropped, maybe a dress, do as you please. Now we're going to add the neckline, and we're just going to triple crochet like parts that cover our shoulders. So we triple crochet only 24 stitches on each side, so we're leaving 12 in the center. That is where our head goes and our neck that we are not crocheting over. If you started with a different chain than 60, all you have to do is subtract that number from 12, to subtract your starting chain number, subtract 12 from it, and then divide it by 2. So for example, we started with 60, we subtract 12, which gets us 48, and then 48 divided by 2 is 24. So that makes sure that you know you have 24 for each shoulder, and then the 12 missing in the center. So we're just going to do 24 triple crochets, and then once you get to 24, cut your yarn. Switch colors and triple crochet in each stitch for a total of 9 rows, and switch sides and repeat 9 rows of triple crochet. You're going to be doing this for both sides, so 9 and 9 on each side. It's a preference if you want to make the colors the same, so like it looks like the stripes are going across. Honestly, I don't think anyone will call you out for it, but I just did it to make it neat, and just because I think I would go crazy if I didn't. But yeah, so I did the right side, and now I just do the left, and I just kept the stripes going across with the same colors. So I'm just going to do 24 on this side, leaving a gap in the middle. This right here is the key to the one panel. Now you're going to go from the outside. You don't want to start in the middle where the neck is. You're going to choose one of the outside. It doesn't really matter which side. It's basically symmetrical the whole time. But you're going to switch your color and start on the outside of the 9th row. So this is our 10th row and final row of the neck, the shoulder side area, whatever, I don't know the official name. But I chain 2, and I'm just going to triple crochet down the row. But once you get to the end, do not cut your yarn. Keep it on your hook, because you're just going to be doing chains after that. We have to bring back those 12 chains that we've been skipping in the middle, so all we do is chain 12, And this is going to re-add them so that the beginning chain number that we started with is the same again, because then we have the 24 plus 24, 48 plus 12, which gets us right back to 60. So you would think maybe, oh, I'll slip knot it, oh, whatever. To add it back, all you're going to do is triple crochet right into the first stitch. You want to kind of grip onto your yarn placement because it's going to twist since it has nothing to grab on, but just try to get that through. It can be tricky at first. And once again, like always, I'm going to crochet over my ends and just triple crochet all the way down. So we are almost back. That was our last row of the neck, so we're going to go back to the same number of rows, same concept on the back. To get it completely back to normal, all we have to do is triple crochet across the row into every stitch, every chain that we have. You're just going to triple crochet in each one, which is going to get it back to normal. So like we did 22 rows in the beginning, or whatever number of rows that you did for your front stripes. Now we're going to do the same number for the back. So this is row 1 of 22. And we already finished the whole front and back 5 and 5 of the neck. So you see I'm just going to the chain, so we don't have to worry about that now. To finish the front and back part, all we have to do is finish out with these rows. I think honestly this is my favorite part about crocheting sweaters, is you don't have to think once you are done this simple, easy part. All you have to do is just sit and comfy crochet, so now you can watch your show and not have to think and mindlessly crochet, which I think is amazing. That's why all I do is crochet sweaters. So you see I'm just triple crocheting across, and everything is back to normal now. So you can just do your stripes for 21 more rows, but a total of 22 rows. So technically with the 5 and 5, it's like 27 in the back, 27 in the front, so a total of 54. This number isn't really that relevant, but I just like to do unnecessary math. Another magic component of the one panel is that we don't sew in the sleeves, we just crochet them right on. So you're going to count from the center. So to find the center, I count 5 rows up from like the 25 rows, because that gets you where the center is, because it's 5 and 5. And then I count 9 rows away from that center. And then we're going to be turning the work on its side. Instead of working up and down, we're working on the side of the rows. So I put, like we were inserting the colors before, you just do the slip knot and insert in that row that you counted. And then you put 3 triple crochets in each triple crochet row. Since they are wider, if it was like a half double crochet or a single crochet, we do like 1 in each, but since it's a wide tall row, we do 3 triple crochets in each row. So it's a total of 18 rows. So you can either count by row, you can count by number of stitches, so it's going to be 54 stitches because 18 times 3 is 54. But this is just a measurement that I really like, just to get that flowy look. But you can also put on this big piece that we have and then decide how wide you want it to be by counting how wide. Like you can mark with stitch markers, measurement, whatever, using the rows as a measurement. If you wanted to change how wide you want it to be, you can like pinch it and just be able to tell. But I did 54 and that was a good number for me. So you see we have this row on the side. I crochet a triple crochet in each stitch and then repeat the rows for a total of 18 rows, or the length sleeve you want. You can just keep trying it on, but keep in mind the blocking. Also keep in mind that we're going to tighten the circumference, I guess would be the word, tightness a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit smaller, so it's going to like, so the shoulders won't be from as far from your neck. It'll be measured from a little closer to your neck. But you just continue to do this for as long as you want it to be. But remember, when we block it, it does get longer. I'm going to keep reminding you because I haven't been reminded. My pieces will come out huge when I think they're going to be small. So just keep this in mind. Repeat the same process for the other sleeve, so 54 stitches, 18 rows. The hard part is done. We have our one panel. All we have to do is fold it in half, so you know where the sleeves are, you know where the body is. So fold the sleeves in half and then start at that neckline center and just fold it in half there, and then we're just going to sew down the sides of the sleeves and the sides of the body. You should see the shape of the sweater now. It's not just this huge T. Went from lowercase t to uppercase T. And now we're just going to sew down the sides. So originally at this point I had lost my yarning needle, but I found this big bulky one that also isn't my favorite. I have to get more. But I just pull, you want to pull the stitches, like the parts of the rows that are most at the top, like most facing you. So if you were to pull the ones that are lower and facing the other side, you're going to be able to see the different color string. But if you do ones that are a lot on the top, like you can really exaggerate it, like grab from the inside of the row, but it's on the top. Go through each row, sewing it together. You don't want to pull it too tight, too loose. You know, just get that good even sewing. For the sleeves, it's easier to know what row you're on because they're the same color, but once you get to the body, it's just important to keep yourself on check. This is where stitch markers could come in. You could check if you're going evenly, if you have the right number of rows, stuff like that. But you can also just count like, okay, this side has 8 rows left, this side has 7. I messed something up there. So you just want to keep pulling the yarn through each one. Also, on top of this, if you don't want to do this, you can also slip knot it, you can slip stitch it. So you would just slip stitch all the way down the side. I don't like doing this because I think it sews it too much, especially for this loose flowy. But honestly, that's just a preference. I really enjoy this process. I like doing the little sewing with the needle. It makes me feel like a housewife in the 1800s, okay? So this is honestly like one of my favorite parts of making sweaters is sewing it together. So this is when I found my big bulky yarning needle that I don't like to sew with at all, that I don't use, but it's all I have left because I lose everything. But you can just see I'm going through the center. You can see the different colored yarn on this side, but if you do it correctly, you can also check throughout to make sure you can't see it. If you do it correctly, you shouldn't be able to see the yarn that much or at all. I don't see it at all in mine. But honestly, if you could see it a little, it's kind of down the side where people can't even see, so it honestly doesn't matter because it's like your underarm and the side of your body. So, and it's already so colorful, I don't think it would matter that much. This is a personal preference. I always add necklines to my sweaters. I know a lot of people don't even add necklines. They'll just sew like 2 squares together and just stick their head through. But I love a good neckline. I think it adds a nice touch. So you're going to go around, just insert your hook anywhere in the yarn and the slip knot, and single crochet all around that circle, meaning at the start. So we go through the front and then it'll be like the shoulder areas and then back to the back and the shoulder area and then the front. This gets the neck to not be as loose. So like when I wear shirts underneath, I don't like to be able to see the shirt underneath. So this is why I make the neckline a little more snug. But if you want it to be loose, that's fine too. So once you go all the way around, you single crochet. I'm really showing my hook in there. You do 1 single crochet, and then, sorry, that was like my bring together one. So I do a single crochet and then you do a decrease. So this is going to make the neck fit good around. So you just pull through 1 stitch and then pull through the other, and then you should have 3 loops, and then you pull through all 3. And then you just repeat alternating the 2, so single crochet and then a decrease, single crochet, decrease, all the way around. I would also try this on because depending on how you want it to fit, this is going to be the finishing, how wide it is. So I definitely have made ones too small, crocheted everything, and then had to start all over because, not all over, start the neckline all over because I made it too tight. So just see if you like it or not. So if you wanted to adjust it, say you wanted it to be tighter, you would incorporate more decreases. If you want it to be looser, then do less decreases. The decreases are what make it tighter or looser. So now I just like to chain one because I lose my mind if I don't before my half double crochets, and then I half double crochet in each stitch for 3 rows. Honestly, if you like how it looks right now, you don't have to add the half double crochets, but this adds a little height to our neckline. Because even the thin little outline is cute too, but I just added 3 more to really get that nice border look. Also, with any sweater, just not this one specifically, you can add final touches to the end. So like if you want to do tighter wrists, then you could do the same process for the wrists. You could do the half double crochets on the bottom, so like it all has the brown trim. But for this one, I just wanted to do it for the neck, but I definitely have done that for other versions of ribbing too. This is the easiest one though. So once you get to the end, it'll be like a little higher, so I just slip stitch it together, and then tie a knot, and then go weave in those ends that are sticking out. But other than that, you're all done. And go block. You better go block. Alright, that was aggressive. But thank you so much for watching! Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love it if you guys sent me on either my Instagram, TikTok, anywhere that you could find me the picture of your guys' sweater. I think that has to be my most favorite thing, being a crochet influencer. Am I considered an influence? Do you feel influenced? Crochet person who makes patterns is when people send me, okay, you can't see my face, is when people send me pieces they've made off of my patterns. I love that. I cannot think of something that I take more joy out of. So if you do make this sweater, please, please, please show me. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please let me know. Even if you didn't make it, if you want to make it in the future, I'd love to hear everything, good, the bad. Even though I might be a little upset at first, it ends up working out for me in the end. But I hope this sweater comes out cute, and whatever time you're watching this during the year, I say this is an all-around sweater. It might have an excessive heat warning outside, but it's somewhat see-through, so that means you can wear it. But I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you want more. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!